Hello, this is Cameron K. Wilcox, and the movie I will be analyzing today is Paid in Full, a 2002 film by Charles Stone III, and also a 1985 album by Eric B. and Rakim, named the same. The movie itself was based on real-life events of three individuals named Rich Porter, Azy Faison, and Alpo Martinez. We see our main character, Ace, living at home with his mother and sister in Harlem. He's been working a dead-end job at his dry cleaning shop as his sister dates a boyfriend named Calvin. He's a drug dealer, and then also he has a flashy friend, a popular friend named Mitch, who's a drug dealer as well. They promise him easy money, expensive cars, and women. Ace decides he's going to be a law-abiding citizen until one day he finds cocaine in one of his customers' pants. The customer, Lulu, is a cocaine supplier who lets Ace keep the drugs. Due to unforeseen circumstances, Calvin gets arrested. And in lieu of that, Ace takes over his customers, easily selling his cocaine for $100 to impress and go back to Lulu. With a higher quality product, he was able to lure customers away from drug dealers and take over the streets of Harlem. Meanwhile, Mitch gets arrested for murder, and that's where he meets the third member of their crew, Rico. This is where the story starts to heat up, because Mitch gets released, and so does Rico. And now all three members of the group are present and able to take over the streets of Harlem again. The trio became wealthy by buying foreign cars, jewelry, and expensive champagne. Ace maintains a low profile, while Mitch returns to his life of popularity. And Rico, a ruthless enforcer, gives worry to Ace, who sees his overzealous, high-profile behavior as dangerous. Calvin is released from jail, and he feels marginalized in his position. He soon retaliates by attempting to rob Ace and his aunt June's apartment, holding June and Dora hostage. When Ace is unable to open the safe, June and Dora are executed by Calvin and another associate. Although Ace is wounded by a gunshot wound to the head, he does survive. His girlfriend Keisha gives birth to their baby that same night. With a near-death experience, Ace decides to give up the drug gang. With that being the case, Rico and Mitch pay Ace a visit to try and convince him to reconsider his thoughts on the drug gang. Even after Rico assures Ace that Calvin will no longer be a problem. In the meantime, Mitch's little brother, Sonny, who he treats as a son, is abducted. There's a ransom, and Mitch turns to his best friend Ace to help him out with cash. Ace provides him with the necessary kilos to earn the money to pay the ransom. Unfortunately, shortly after receiving the kilos, Mitch ends up dead. And this is where our story comes to a conclusion, as Ace wears a wire to get Rico to confess to the murder of Mitch. We also see that Sonny does not survive the abduction, and Rico gets 25 to life for his murder of Mitch. In real life, Rich Porter. Now that we have the overview of the movie, I'd like to tackle three topics: the economic impact, the cultural impact, and the community impact. All of these are tied into one and the same. We see the economic impact where the money that was flowing into the neighborhood through the drug sales was not necessarily going back into the neighborhood, thus diminishing the community and the surrounding area. The cultural impact saw wealthy individuals go broke and individuals that were upstanding in the community fall to drug addiction. With the drug addiction on the rise, that meant that the crime in the community also increased. To the local drug dealer, though, that meant more money. more power, and more prestige. Ultimately, in the end, the community would suffer the most as its higher-ranking individuals fall prey to drug addiction. As for the drug dealers of our story, there was only two ways to end up, either in jail or death. Our main character, Ace, was one of the fortunate ones to make it out alive. Thank you for your time, and that has been our analysis of the movie Paid in Full by Cameron K. Wilcox.